Anyways, Fire Punch Volume 4. Last time we read Fire Punch, I just want to make a little recap for myself before we continue reading. The things that I remember. Number 1, we escaped from Behem Dork. We were in a snow chase, a car chase, with snow. Batman kind of hold the rear for some time before eventually a girl wearing nothing but her underwear shows up and saves the day. And then another person came in who has the power to grow spears or swords out of his middle fingers, which was really funny. I enjoyed that section a lot, and also seeing like Togata being the regenerative bliss that she is, and also a person who doesn't really give a damn. Seeing her just trying to drive the truck and then getting shot and killed, and then having to kill those person and then having shot and killed again, while also trying to find a lighter and a cigarette, was really funny. I really enjoyed that aspect a lot. And then we end off, we end the story with, well, first of all, we were reintroduced to the Ice Witch, which was the moment where we left off in Volume 3. Acne speaks to the Ice Witch. The Ice Witch, I presume, took Judah's head and then just vanishes. And then Acne, of course, needs to face the consequences of his own action. He looked at all of the destruction that he made, kind of realizes that, yeah, you pretty much become like the very thing you want to kill, you know, in Doma. And we never really see Doma yet. Judah tells Acne that Doma is probably dead, but you know the rule of storytelling. If you don't see that person dead, then they're probably not dead at all. So I'm just waiting for further clarification. If Doma is actually dead, well then that's pretty much it. But I would not be surprised if Doma would then show up later on by saying, "Hey, what's up? I'm actually alive." Like, that would not surprise me at all. So yeah, Acne goes to this village, and everybody there, the slaves, the firewoods, worships him as a god. And again, kind of shows some of the religious subtext that Tatsuki Fujimoto is showing through the story, which I really appreciate and I really love and I really enjoy, because it's a matter of, it's one thing when the religious subtext is surrounding the character and when the religious subtext is the character. In this case, it is within Acne. And I find it really fascinating and I cannot wait to see where the story goes. Fire Punch, Volume 4. Chapter 34. I guess it's the next day or a couple of days after the event. It's a good thing he left the joint. Son, you'll be able to walk with prosthetics. Okay, good. Good. Wonderful. I was afraid that son would be rendered, you know, like this the entire time, so good. Prosthetics. Prosthetics are new legs to replace your missing ones. Come back again tomorrow. I'll have some made for your size by then. Son looks at his legs. Yay, he says. Meanwhile, Batman, carrying the dead. How many people is this now? I haven't counted. More and more of the firewood guys keep dying. There's not much food, so the emaciated ones go first. But they all die with a look of peace on their faces. This is all thanks to Lord Acne. I haven't seen Lord Acne since last night. He might be above the clouds. I doubt that. probably messing around with Togata, I assume. There's something we need to take care of right away. Here we go. Talking to Togata again. There's nothing left to eat in this town. You and I may not have to eat, but for those who do, they'll die. And that includes the 300 slaves you picked up, the 200 pieces of firewood, that mystery Batman and his 30 guys, and that mystery bitch's 160 family members. They're waiting for you to come up with a miracle that'll feed them. Okay. And now we're coming back to this again, this whole dilemma again. And this again kind of goes back to the religious subtext that I was talking about, and Agni being a god. Like, I guess I can only pull off examples from Christianity for now, but like, you know, in Christianity, like Jesus would, I guess, symbolically, you know, let the people eat him. Well, in the context of eating bread, but you know, the bread symbolizes the body of Christ, right? And then the wine symbolizes his blood. But symbolically speaking, it's basically saying, yeah, we are eating the flesh of our God, but it is also giving us, it is also providing, you know, the followers. And that's kind of like the same vibe that I'm getting at with Agni being the regenerative that is able to give his own life, his own body to people, right? A sacrifice. He is sacrificing himself by letting the people, you know, survive through him. I wonder if that is intentional from Fujimoto's side, or if this is just something that I just picked up on. I'm supposed to perform a miracle, but how? Besides being eternally on fire, you've been chopped to bits, been resurrected, flown through the air, descended from the heavens, and freed the slaves. Those are called miracles, and they're why everyone thinks you're God. And again, this is also kind of a bit controversial, but, you know, like back in the old days, you know, things happen. You don't have a lot of explanation for these things to happen. That's why these things could be seen as otherworldly, or, as what Togata says, miracles, right? Not saying, I'm not trying to insinuate anything for you know, for any religion at all. No. I'm just saying, like, in the perspective of a lot of people, you know, a lot of the mythological elements, I would say, right? Some of the fantastical elements as well. If there is no explanation, you know, for them, then it's hard to really give any explanation apart from, yeah, these are miracles, these are things that happen, even though, sorry, I got to cut there, just finished rendering a video, but as I was saying, you know, these miracles, they happen, but we don't have any explanation for them. That's why they're miracles, right? For these people, what the actions that Agni has done is, I would say from the naked eye, is impossible to comprehend. Right now, there aren't enough beds or sleeping bags, so everyone's sleeping in turns. And the little canned food remaining is being shared by everyone with no fighting to be had. The only reason they're able to put up with all of this is because they're expecting something from you, their God. And here we go, the weight of expectations. But they can't just do that. Oh, they surely can. They have every right to expect things, says Togatta, just as you have the right to either answer their expectations or not. But if you don't, I know exactly what will happen. And what's that? They'll be disappointed. And then they'll get angry, because they wasted all that time expecting something of you. This is a problem. Like I just said, the weight of expectations. So let's see what happens next. And then the slaves took you in. Sorry. And then the slaves you took in will either run away or turn on you. So what will it be? And again, yeah, this happens a lot. Not just in like any religion, but like, you know, people expect something from you, and if you don't, give them what they want, they're either gonna ignore you, abandon you, or like Togatta said, they're gonna turn on you. This is going to be a problem, and it's going to be another problem because for Agni, he needs to basically control the fire, right? He can't just cut off his arm and give that to the people, because the arm will still be on fire, and once that fire goes out, well, then so is the arm. So he needs to find a way to, again, control the fire and also give the people what they want. And I mentioned this in like the previous reaction video for Fire Punch, right? During the beginning, when I was making my weird assumption that Judah and Agni are gonna have a relationship, and then they're gonna have sex, and then Fujimoto's gonna make a plot twist that, hey, Judah is actually Luna, and then whatever. just watch the previous episode if you want some context. But I was mentioning that in order for that to happen, Agni needs to control the flame. And this is like a good way to push that narrative. If Agni needs to feed them, if Agni needs to cut his arm, his legs, his body parts to feed the people, then yeah, he needs to control the flame first in order to do so. And then the slaves you took in will either run away or turn on you. So what will it be? I met the Ice Witch. Nuh-uh. I love that reaction. Nuh-uh. No. Togatta's like, what? Nuh-uh. No, you did not. No, you did not. That was a fake narrative. It's something that was conjured up by Behemdor. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? I met the Ice Witch. Nuh-uh. She froze the world just because she could. She can't be forgiven. Okay, I see. I don't know what's going to serve as my fuel to keep living. Yeah, Togatta is kind of confused a bit. What I do know is that I don't want to lose to the one who made this world how it is. The Ice Witch. So, if it means saving everyone, I'll play God or do whatever it takes. But... do I even have a right to say that? Ooh, the way Togatta is looking at him. He's like, she's like basically letting Agni to, to say all this while she's formulating her own thoughts. I've killed so many, and Togatta answers. To make up for all the ones you've killed, you should have some fire. What did I just say? What did I just say about a few... in the last video, what did I just say? To make up for all the ones you've killed, you should have some fire sex. to up the number of children. Not that that is possible with your burning splooge. He could make up for those he killed by saving the slaves or something. You're stealing what I just said. But... Enough with the buts. You're not allowed to worry like that anymore. Humans worry. You're a god. We have to do something about this food problem. If it's food they need, I have an idea. I love this. Little, like, skip in time. The way Fujimoto is paneling this. Are you sure about this? I'll be fine. My meat tastes good. Oh! Cut off the left side of his head, the one that isn't actually on fire. Can't Agni just try to concentrate the fire on other parts of his body and not let's say his arm, so they can cut off his arm? But okay, cut off his head. My body's too burned to eat, but the left side of my head isn't burning, so you can eat it. Yeah, I wonder why the left side of his head isn't actually burned though. That is a question that I haven't really asked about. That's like a question that I should actually be asking, but I never really took into consideration. And you should be able to cut it off without catching fire. There's probably not a lot of meat in my head, so we'll have to cut off a lot. Sorry Togata, but I need you to do this. Man, Togata is going to have a field day with this. You know Togata is going to have a lot of fun with this. You're going to make everyone eat human meat? Look at that smug on her face. That is so awesome. Togata, I just realized something. If you manage to hit the core of his regenerative powers just right, maybe you can free Mr. Agni from the fire. But that's on the burning side, and I don't have the proper equipment to cut it out besides. It's no fun if he's not on fire. And Naneta's like, what the fuck is this fucking bitch? The flames don't extinguish until the credits are ready to roll. Foreshadowing. And then he cuts the head. Naneto and Sun sleeping together. That's kind of cute. Batman praying. And every time the axe burns, they make a new one. Hey, it's gone bad again. Make another. Can't you make a cooler one? Like a chainsaw? Aren't you cold? What an idiot. I love that he just gives her the middle finger. Oh god. I don't know if you can talk or just choose not to, but you can't tell anyone that Agni's here. People can't just meet gods whenever they want to. Hey, fuck you! Ugh, I want to rub one out so bad. Ayo? I know I already said this. It'd be way quicker if we just cut off one of my arms or legs instead, so let's just do that. No. Why not? I can't watch you being put through pain like that. Yeah. Understandable, judging from like his past and with Luna and whatever, okay. Aww, so chivalrous. Again, I love Togata's mannerism. She is a wild card though. She is a wild card. Like, you don't know what she's gonna do next. Obviously, she is mostly doing this for herself. This is for her own film that she wants to create. So, again, I still find that Togata is a really fun character to read and to witness in the manga. Chapter 35. Sup, bitch. Agni's meat is in these bags. It is by his grace that you may partake. And she is speaking in English, obviously. You, Batman, and Tidy Whities split this, okay? No. Why not? This meat, it's human, right? I snuck a peek while he was cutting it. And Agni, he's not a god at all, is he? I'm guessing he's just a human blessed with the ability to burn and regenerate. Skeptical, eh? I see. Alrighty then. I can understand your line of thinking, but you really only have two options. Die like a dog, or eat the meat. But don't worry, Agni's a fucking god, believe it. Then she eats. She tries it out. It's good. This meat is granted to us by Lord Agni. Savor it while you partake. Women and children first. You wouldn't even see a fucking eyeball. Naneto's the one who got it shit. Mr. Agni's eyeball. Mr. Agni's eyes are good for your eyes, says Sun. Eyes are good for your eyes. If you eat his eyes, your eyesight will get even better. Who told you that? Who? I just think that. I just think that. And then Nanetsu begrudgingly eats it. Lucky, if you say so. But you're lucky too, son. You've got legs now. Yeah. And good for Sun. Good for Sun. I'm going to start practicing how to walk. Okay, good. I want to get back on my feet as soon as possible so I can help Mr. Agni. I also want to work on standing again so I can be of help to Lord Agni. Then, you should eat Lord Agni's mouth. If you do that, you'll get some of his divine strength. And if you eat his ears, it'll cure sickness. And Neto's like, yeah, these people are whack. I'm scared. Of what? Says Togata as she casually chops his head. Everybody really believes Mr. Agni's a god. And okay, to be fair, yeah, that is kind of scary. Like, you can worship him, but, you know, there's a limit to how much you would eventually worship a god. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's kind of weird for me to say, like, there's a, like me saying, like, there's a limit to how much you would praise a god. But then again, I feel like there has to be a boundary in, like, how much you would worship and praise. Because it's one thing to be a follower, and then it's another thing to be a fanatic. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can follow him, but once you become a fanatic, that is when it becomes a problem. Because by then, you would disregard a lot of stuff. It's like suddenly your life is like fully devoted to this cult, this religion of acneism, as Togata says. So when it reaches that moment, that's when it becomes a problem. Everybody really believes Mr. Acne is a god. They barely know anything about him, yet they share these really detailed stories about him among themselves. Yeah, high tales, fairy tales, you know the drill. Basically trying to portray him as this unstoppable force of nature. Obviously, you need to make up stories and overly exaggerate them. But it keeps morale going, it keeps the hopes up. So, what do, right? We're starting to act like a real religion now, yep. There used to be a lot of religions in the world. All sorts of different teachings. Ah, okay. We're getting into this. For example, in Judaism, they taught that we got our bodies from God, so you can't remove a single part of them, not even shaving. Jewish men all rock these huge beards, but there was also a practical reason behind that teaching. When you shave, you could cut your face with the razor, so in order to prevent people from catching diseases like tetanus or HIV, they came up with these restrictions. There was also a religion that claimed that cows were sacred beasts that mustn't be eaten. And that was also during a time when you could get sick from eating beef. Biff? I don't know what I said there. Wait, really? Wait, really? The fact that you cannot eat cows is because of a time when you could get sick from eating beef? Wait, what? I need to cross-check that. Okay, so I was trying to find any factual evidence of this, both in like Hinduism and Buddhism. Of course, obviously, I was like looking pretty fast and skimmed through a lot of like the searches because I don't want to waste my time searching for stuff that may take me hours to find. But I did stumble upon this, which is from the Mahabharata, that says, end quote, once when there was a great can't speak. Quoted from the Mahabharata, once there was a great famine, King Prithu took up his bow and arrow and pursued the earth to force her to yield nourishment for his people. The earth assumed the form of a cow and begged him to spare her life. She then allowed him to milk her for all that the people needed. Not really what I was looking for, but I do find some of the parallels and the comparisons to acne right now in Fire Punch to be... yeah, I can see that. It's very apparent. So that's pretty cool to read, and also more information and more knowledge for me. So anyways, got a little bit sidetracked there, but let's move on. There was also a religion that claimed that cows were sacred beasts that mustn't be eaten, and that was also during a time when you could get sick from eating beef. I said biff again. Beef. What's tetanus? And HIV for that matter. What are they? Girl, you don't need to know. People who don't know about tetanus or HIV are basically uneducated. Only need to be told that they're God's teachings and to have faith. And you know why, right? The only reason why right now everyone can eat this meat that's so obviously a human face is because they're telling themselves it's part of a God's teachings. They all lie to each other and believe in those lies while they're eating it. Crazy, right? kind of like a real religion, not gonna lie. Again, Fujimoto really hammering down those religious commentary on Fire Punch, which is something that I never expected when I started reading Fire Punch. I would have never guessed that Fujimoto is going into this direction in terms of like the story and the underlying message and whatever. Not trying to make a statement, no, obviously not. But it is a commentary and I guess an observation of religion. Togata, what? You've been alive a long time, and that's why you know everything that you do, right? Then I have something I want to ask. Me too. Is it something dirty? Naneto already got to ask her question, so I get to go next. Naneto seems like very upset about this. Fine, I'll go after you. Now there are fewer religions than there used to be. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted to ask. Back when it wasn't cold, what was it like? Good question. To be honest, I only experienced a little bit of the world when it was still warm. It wasn't all that different from how it is now, except of course that people did not have to eat human meat. But way back before I was born, the old world, they say it was a peaceful and just world. Not really, considering what is happening right now. The world is pretty fucked. The world is heading towards extinction. I can vouch for that. The doomsday clock is like what, a 0.5 seconds away from doomsday? Yeah. Okay, next. What? This might be a stupid question, but everything you say is stupid. Where do people go when they die? Ooh. And this is a personal question for him. Because he wants to know. This isn't a question for him actually. It's a question for Luna, in fact, right? He wants to know what happens to Luna. Wow, where do people go when they die? What are you, a kid? You think I know everything? You mean you don't know? A movie theater. Okay. Interesting answer. I can't wait to see how, or I can't wait to see her elaboration on this. A movie theater. It's a building where everybody watches movies together. Okay, what's the punchline? What's the symbolism? What's the message? Togata, please. What's the message? What are you trying to insinuate? What do you mean by movie theater? What do you mean? I mean, I can try to elaborate on this by myself. Like, go to a movie theater to escape reality. You go to a movie theater, which is a dark place where everybody gets to be quiet, but we are all in unison in a sense because we are all watching a movie together. And a movie theater. Actually, yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think of right now is that movie theaters are a place where people escape, right? You go to the movie theaters, you watch a movie, you go there because you want to escape reality. You want to be transported to another place. a fantasy, if you will. But the problem is, it's not real. That's not reality. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Ooh. Huh, a movie theater. Okay, Fujimoto, okay. Okay. The moment you die, you find yourself standing in a movie theater. You're holding caramel popcorn and a soda in your hands. And then you go to find your seat. The moment you find it and sit down, the lights dim. Then a bunch of movie trailers run. And then they show this super interesting movie that plays on forever into eternity. Wow. I guess for Togata that is basically heaven for her. That is paradise for her. That is her ideal resting place. I guess like if there's a place where she wants to die, then obviously she would want to die in a movie theater. Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, is the movie theater warm and a nice place? I don't know. I've never been there. But if it's a nice place, a real nice place, then that's good. Okay, my next question. Back when it was peaceful, were people's stomachs always full? Oh jeez, poor guy. Gonna take a little break. Alright, we're back. Chapter 36. Then we see the villagers. The people are working hard to take care of the snow. One of them looks to somewhere. Then we see a hand. Whose hand are these? That's the question. Oh. Soldiers from Behemoth. Takes the camera again, filming it. Where are we going? Weren't you listening? I was getting my head cut off. 4 soldiers from Behemoth They've come here. What? They don't have any weapons. They say they want to live here. Huh? This is an opportunity to make you even more godlike than ever. I told you to play the role of a god, remember? But you still haven't done much in the way of acting, have you? What do you think that is? The key to acting like a god is to stay out of people's sight as much as possible. New religions are one thing, but all the biggest religions never had a god that was alive and existing among them. So there's no need to show yourself. But since you have such an impressive look, let's just show you off a little right now. When we are in front of the believers, just do as I say. Bam! Cut to when he is right in front of them. Fire punch! That's Lord Acne to you! Knock it, please. Knock it, please? Knock it, please? I mean, stop it, please. Oh, yes. Batman lets go of him. Lord Acne, we have nowhere to go. We'll join Agneism, so please let us live here. Please, we beg of you. Batman is not having it. Lord Acne, if I may speak, My parents were killed before my very eyes of soldiers of Behemoth. They're demons. We should not even consider them letting join Agniism. Please let me kill them myself. And here, Agni needs to show compassion. He needs to be a wise god, right? We're going to show forgive these soldiers. Show forgive? Show forgive. Let us forgive them. Forgive. But why? My parents beg for forgiveness but receive none, and yet we're to forgive them? That's why we're going to forgive them. If we kill them now, we'll be no different than they are. We are not people of Behemoth. We are followers of Agniism. And Agniism's ultimate goal is to overcome this cruel, unforgiving world. When you kill someone and continue the cycle of death, you have lost to this world. Ooh, talking about materialism? Okay. Lord Agni already smote Behemoth plenty in honor of his followers. Now all that's left is to forgive. By forgiving, we can move on to a world of peace. It will be a warm world illuminated by Lord Agni's flames. People are looking like, oh, but Batman is not having it. The shades in his eyes. Tsugata seems like very proud of herself, like, that was a speech. But there are no other soldiers besides you guys, right? Speak the truth. Our orders were to release a hero of Behemoth into the wild. But he's idle now. I don't think he'll bring harm to this village. What's his name? Doma. And there it is. Doma. Doma is alive and well. Immediately cuts to Agni being cut off. You okay? Well, it hurts, but that's pretty obvious. I don't mean that, I mean your whole revenge arc thing. Doma's still alive, so what are you gonna do? I don't think anything of it. It doesn't concern me anymore. Liar. But that's okay. Your body's not yours alone anymore. You're no longer Fireman. You're Lord Agni. Oh shit, here comes Batman. What are you doing here, Lord Agni? I'm sorry for coming uninvited, but I'm blessed with being able to look into people's hearts. He wants to look at Agni. I mean, I say I can look into them, but it's only a little. I can only read scraps of it. And your heart, it's so enveloped in pain and suffering that I haven't been able to look into yours. But I have read this person's heart, and she is not to be trusted. Ooh. I mean, again, Tsugata is pretty fucking obviously, you know, doing whatever the fuck she wants. I forgot when I mentioned this, but I did mention this like a couple of chapters ago, and that is Tsugata is basically the director of this entire story. And what I mean is that Tsugata is the ones Togata is one of the people who are pulling the strings. Not the one who is like actually behind everything, no, but she is one of the people pulling the strings. Why am I saying this? Because again, Togata is the one who is pushing Agni into a certain narrative, right? She is the one who is pushing him into a certain direction because she is, and she refers to herself as the director, right? She directs people. She is the one who is controlling a lot of these things and a lot of these moments. Granted, she can be good, she can be bad. All I know is, I love her character, she's very fucking awesome, she's cool, but the fact that Batman is saying that she is not to be trusted, yeah, I believe that, because she is not to be trusted. She's betrayed you, Lord Agni. I mean, that much is, it's true. I mean, she did, basically, yeah. Excuse me? And just what proof do you have? Please don't trust her. She only sees you as a source of entertainment. Everything she says is a lie. True, she pretends to be a flippant woman. But she's actually a man in a woman's body. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Batman? What do you mean? So, physically she is a woman, but mentally she is a man? Is that what you're trying to say? But she's actually a man in a woman's body. Chapter 37. Darkness, darkness, darkness. Somebody in bed. Who is this? Judah? Judah? Is this Judah? The flames, the fire, the light. The fireplace, warmth. Judah? Is this Judah? It has to be Judah. 100%. It's 100% Judah. You're awake. And there's the ice switch. Ooh, it's getting spicy. You must be cold. The wood's wet, so it's not burning well. Interesting. Ice switch. But having to do with flames. The complete polar opposite. Actually being friendly. Taking care of her. Also, is the ice switch producing flames? Because I feel like that's what these two panels are showing. Interesting. The wood's wet, so it's not burning well. You must be cold. She puts the wood into the fireplace, whoosh, and then flames. Why am I still alive? Because you have to live. But man, it's cold. My thoughts freeze to a halt when it's cold. You're the ice witch. Or some junk. The ice witch is just a myth. Ah, okay, clarification. She can't actually exist. But if I hadn't said that, Acne wouldn't have had anything to keep him going and he would have died. It was that acting thing that you guys love so much. Just acting. My name is Sulya. Sulya. You probably can't move anything below your neck. Sorry I had to put you through that. I don't care if I die. Please, let me die. Please, just kill me. Just kill me now. Please, just let me die. I'm trying to die here. Please. Don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. It's sad. We finally get to meet each other. And whoa, look at this. A lot of vines, roots, like pumping in energy, blood vessels or something, to her, obviously to keep her alive. For so long I've dreamt of touching you, Judah. So, Sulya is very fascinated on Judah, but why though? Why is Sulya so fixated on Judah? Why does Sulya want to touch Judah? What does Judah has? But I could never get close enough. Because your lackeys kept getting in the way. But thanks to Agni, we finally met. Touches Judah. You're cold. And I love how Fujimoto is playing with the light in these panel shots. Some really, really dark shadows and really bright highlights. There's practically only like two tones, like black and white. There's almost no mid-tones at all, which is making things really harsh and really effective in this scene. You probably can't feel the warmth of my hand. It doesn't matter. Soon you'll only have your consciousness left and you'll become my doll. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Become your doll? So you saved Judah only to use her instead? Man, fuck you. Fuck you, Sulya. I hate you now. And then I can finally begin. Okay. What are you planning to do? Carry out the principles of this world. Main antagonist? Proper villain? But now I'm really scared on what Sulya is gonna do to Judah, because I like Judah as a character. Become my doll. Ugh. Carry out the principles of this world. Like what principles? What is Sulya on about? both destruction and rebirth. Ooh. Ooh. And showing destruction on Togata and then rebirth on Agni. Ooh. Juicy. Juicy. Oh. So good. So good. Not only does this work as foreshadowing, but it also speaks for a lot of these. It also speaks for what kind of characters we're dealing with and who they truly are. Ooh. Destruction and rebirth. Destruction showing Togata, rebirth showing Agni. And it's also crazy because Agni is the one who has the power to destroy, right? Because of the flames. And Togata is actually the one who has the power to fully regenerate without causing any harm to people. And yet the one who is being highlighted as the destruction is Togata, and then the one who is regarded as rebirth is actually Agni. Is Togata actually the main villain this entire time? That would be sweet. That would actually be sweet. Like, not like your typical villain, but like, again, like the person who is always the puppet master, right? The one who is always in control, the one who is like, again, like I was saying, the director, the one who is controlling people and leading them to certain narrative decisions that will only benefit her or him, that will only benefit Togata. Sweet. Sweet. I love this story development. Togata seems very yeah, she is sweating right now. Nervous, anxious, scared, perhaps. Everything eventually decays. The world itself is already rotting away. I just want to finish it off. Government, paintings, plants, flesh, souls, the things of this world. And who is this? Walking right now, who is this? Oh, it's Togata. The things of this world cannot be reborn unless they are first destroyed. Man, Togata leaving and closing the door very ominously, looking at Neneto. It's kind of fucking sus. You cannot get more sus than this. So, the things of this world cannot be reborn unless they are first destroyed, which again, kind of, it applies to Agni, but in a way it also can be applied to Luna. Even though I'm still like 75% sure that Luna is dead, but that 25% of mine is still like thinking, what if Luna is actually Judah and we've been like bamboozled this entire time, and Agni is not a fucking nut job, and he was actually right this entire time. But anyways, Togata looks at Neneto, closes the door, and then she leaves. What does she have? What is she holding on her back? And since this is after the the fact, since this is after, or at least these panels that are being shown is shown after the encounter between Batman and Togata with Agni. Is that the same box? Or bag? I don't know. Could Togata be carrying Agni inside that box, like Agni's head? Maybe. My goal is to end this world and make its successor warmer. Out with the old, in with the new. Basically restarting the Earth, essentially. That was the end of that chapter. Chapter 38. And to make the next world warmer, Judah, I'm going to use you. I can't follow what you're saying. To put it in literal terms makes it sound silly, so I was speaking figuratively to make it sound cooler. But I'll just give it to you straight. I'm going to have you suck the life out of every living thing and become a giant tree to warm the earth for me. So that's why there are a bunch of roots. That's why there's a bunch of roots. What the fuck? You're gonna turn Judah into a fucking tree. A fucking tree. You're gonna turn Judah into fucking Groot. You're gonna turn Judah into the tree of life that will... Yeah, basically. Give life. And... speaking of trees, let's actually talk about some symbolism. Trees, right? They suck energy, you know, they suck water, they suck soil and everything and whatnot. But it grows life. See? Symbolism. A tree? A tree. A tree. A tree. Like the plant. You know, where firewood comes from? I know turning into a tree sounds stupid, but I mean it. I'm serious. Very serious. Gotta turn into a tree. If you know how the mechanisms of the blessed work and apply them the right way, it's a cinch. People have elevated the blessed to divine levels these days, but in reality, they're just the same as guns or toaster ovens. They're appliances. Tools, in a way. Another word for a gun is a blessing that can kill people when you pull the trigger. A toaster oven is a blessing that toasts bread when you press a button. Blessed are invisible guns and toaster ovens created by the old world and drifting through the air. The people of the old generation were evolved. That's why they were able to use all forms of blessings. Everyone was born with the trigger of a gun or the switch of a toaster oven in their blood. The current generation's people weren't able to evolve, and that's why they can only use one blessing at most. Right now, besides you and me, Judah, everyone else is from the current generation. Ooh. I've searched the planet, but you're the only other evolved person besides me that I found. Your white hair, blue eyes, and even your voice. Wait a minute. Before I continue to the page, because they are revealing her face, her identity, Sulya or whatever. So she is basically saying Judah's physical look, her physicality, is of someone, a human, who is more evolved than a blessed. If that is the case, then does that mean Luna is also an evolved? If we are led to believe that Judah looks almost identical as Luna, or looks exactly the same as Luna, if that is the case, then does that mean, like I said, does that mean Luna is also an evolved person? And if that is the case, that kind of raises the possibility of Luna actually being alive for me. Again, I'm sniffing and huffing copium, but the fact that the Ice Witch is purposefully telling us that, hey, your white hair, blue eyes, you are evolved, and even your voice. What's her voice got to do with anything, right? So if that is the case, and Acne sees Luna within Judah, then the story is basically telling us that Luna is also an evolved person. Right? So, let's continue the chapter. Let's continue to the next page. Your white hair, blue eyes, and even your voice are like mine. Whoa! And that's proof you're evolved. What the fuck? You got a fucking twig stick on your face. And I haven't really commented on this, but I love the fact that Judah this entire time is emotionless. In this current state, it goes to show that, yeah, number one, she is defenseless. Number two, she's already been practically taken over by a bunch of roots. And three, she is very, very weak in this instance. Very weak. He just regenerated her body. He just woke up. She is in a very weak state, so she can't really do anything. I bet I look just like you. I bet I look just like you did when you were little. Besides the right side of my face. I may not look it, but my age is 4 digits long. 4 digits long? How old are you? Yeah, how old are you? What is she, Sulya? Like, she has got to be like some sort of... This is a god. This is an actual god. 4 digits, living in the thousands. And the world really became fucked in the hundreds, not in the thousands. How can you live in this world? All this talking has got me overheated. Let's go outside for a bit. Wait, Togata. Okay, so it's not actually Agni inside the bag. Come on, give me some slack. Wait, Togata. Tell me what you're thinking. Judging by that bag, you're planning on leaving. Togata. Bam! Togata, what's going on? I don't get you. Did what that masked guy said upset you so much? Shoots him again. Damn. Quit making me waste bullets. You're such a pain in the ass. I won't know what to do without you, Togata. All this burning, it's so painful I can't think about complicated things. I thought you were enjoying yourself here. Tell me why you're leaving. Shoots, blam, you don't know a thing about me. Then Acne falls. Ooh, I guess this is kind of like a match cut. Acne falls and then showing Judah falling. Sorry, I guess I still don't have a good control of your body just yet. I don't like seeing my own face glaring back at me. Chapter 39. Look, that's ways dawn. And that way, you can still see the stars. You can see the stars so clearly when it's not snowing. Judah just looking. When I was little, I used to love to see the stars. But I can't remember what I like so much about them. When you live as long as I have, your brain gets holes in it. And all sorts of memories leak out of it. Now, I don't like seeing them that much. In fact, I feel guilty looking at them. The people of the old world, abandoned their dying planet during the Ice Age, and went to other planets. Ah, interesting. Lore, backstory, world building, I love it. Okay, so in this world, basically Elon Musk succeeded in taking everybody to Mars then. Everyone on those planets looked exactly the same, and lived in constant bliss. They even lost all violent tendencies. Wait, how many years is this into the future? Because there's clearly some discrepancies on like information about the world. That's for certain. Because we're already getting misinformation about the Behemoth situation. We are already getting information about the ice switch and the snow situation, about the climate change and whatever. So how many years has it actually been? Because Sulia is messing with me right now in terms of like the age, the gap of the age of the world in general, because living in the thousands and then talking about the people of the old world abandoning the planet during the Ice Age to other planets. Those people are dead now. And all these beautiful stars are light from their dying cultures. Wow. Kinda dark. So there's no need to feel guilty about anything we're about to do. I'm now going to tell you the order in which we're going to make this world form. First, we're going to steal all the life from every living thing on Earth and fuel you with it. All living things on Earth besides me are going to die, Agni included unfortunately, but that still won't be enough to warm up this Ice Age. Next, you'll establish roots with other planets. Excuse me, what? And you'll steal all of their life forces to fuel yourself. By then, the world should finally start to warm. Wait a minute, so yeah, Sulia is basically turning Judah into the World Tree. Like Yggdrasil. She's literally turning Judah into Yggdrasil. With the roots connecting to the 9 realms, the 9 worlds and whatever. What the fuck? After that, I'll give birth to and raise a whole new humanity all by myself. And how are you planning to do that? And that'll be all. How are you planning to give birth and raise the whole... Sulia, what the fuck are you? In fact, I'm gonna go to Google and I'm going to search your name. Okay, so searching Sulia's name, I can only find a city in India that is called Sulia. But while it is not technically the same name, I want to mention Surya, which is a god in Hinduism, who is the solar deity in Hinduism. So there's that. And you know how the Japanese like to butcher R's and L's, but I don't think that is like a direct comparison or whatever. But it's a close name, and it is a god, and there's some context to be had when Surya is the god of the solar system and whatever. So Surya is definitely a character that is yeah, I'm just gonna refer Surya as God now. So we have the fake god, which is Agni, and then we have Surya, which I am pretty confident isn't even human. Alright, let's continue. But that won't be the end of you, Judah. I don't know if you'll have consciousness by then, but you'll continue living in a semi-permanent state. Well, that's kind of fucked up. Like, you can live, but you're a fucking tree. Which also begs the question, like, do trees have feelings? Like, are trees, you know, do they have thoughts and feelings? I mean, they are living creatures, so what if they are though? Like, what if trees actually have like feelings and thoughts and like like consciousness? So those trees that have lived for like thousands of years must have been like questions of the universes, questions of the universe that humanity will probably never get answers to. And it's actually a question that I don't want answers to, because that would be insane. Kind of puts deforestation to another level, don't you think? But okay then. I don't know if you'll have consciousness by then, but you'll continue living in a semi-permanent state. She's not moving, just emptiness, no expressions whatsoever from Judah. Are you completely unable to move now? Oh shit. No, shit. Fuck. This is it. This is the start of the treification or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Judah cries. Only the right side of my face is different from you, Judah. At first, I thought I'd make myself into the tree. But I had this lingering thought that made me stop halfway. You ask how I can live in this world, and that's because I have something that fuels me. It's a fuel that will keep me going for the rest of my life. And that's because the last Star Wars film ended on a cliffhanger. Which Star Wars film are you talking about, though? What would you consider the last Star Wars film? should be. Is it episode 6? Is it episode 3? Is it episode 9? Technically, episode 9 is the last Star Wars film right now. So... how many Star Wars films has there actually been on this world? I want to know. Like Star Wars episode 20? Return of Skywalker? In the old world, it was prohibited to read novels or watch movies, let alone make them. Oh. Oh, that's a very morbid world that I don't want to live in. And Judah, once again, only a single tear, no expressions on her face whatsoever. But in the next culture, I don't care if it takes tens of thousands of years. I'm going to raise that culture to the exact same level as the era when they made Star Wars, so I can watch the next movie in the franchise. All this destruction is necessary in order to make that possible. Sure, I'll go with you. Yeah. I can completely understand your reasoning, Solia. I can completely understand your reasoning. As someone who loves film and animation, as someone who enjoys watching pop culture in general, yes, it is a very noble cause. The world must be destroyed so that we can watch the next Star Wars film, and hopefully the next Star Wars film is actually pretty good. A very noble cause indeed. And that is the end of Fire Punch Volume 4. Twice a year I spend time with my grandmother in France. I'm trying to get in her will. Oh. Yeah, be on her good side, Fujimoto. Yeah. Okay. Wow. That took longer than I expected. 1.5 hours of me recording Fire Punch as a Volume 4 as a whole. I'm kind of glad that I took a break from the halfway point, because otherwise this would have been like a 2-hour long session, and I feel like this part of the story has so much story and content in it that I feel like if I do continue it from like the previous session of Fire Punch, I would probably not have given this many or as much thought and discussion as I did, because there's a lot to unpack in these sets of chapters. There's a lot of the religious aspects of the story, and yeah, I mean it's mostly religious aspects, but some of the symbolism, some of the I guess implications I find to be very interesting, very cool, very neat, very well executed. And now I'm kind of sad because Judah's fate is something that yeah, don't blame me. I would have never in a million years guessed that Judah is gonna turn into a fucking tree. Okay? Never in a million years. Like, what the fuck? Fujimoto. Yeah, I'm gonna make this girl into a fucking tree. Gonna turn her into Yggdrasil or some shit. Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much it for me for Fire Punch Volume 4. There's nothing else. Yep. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction and my discussion for Fire Punch Volume 4, and I will see you all next week for Volume 5 of Fire Punch. Take care, guys.